Here we go. All right. Welcome, Shoshana. Welcome, Shoshana. Yes. Okay, we have all the holy souls ready to change the world. So, first part one that was about trying to, speak a little bit about today. Today, Chav Elul. It was actually the creation of the world. So happy anniversary to everyone, to the creation of life and of everything, really, the light, the first day. And it's interesting that it's not celebrated so much. I guess God wanted to make sure that we understand it's about the human being, not about creation itself. And that's one of the things that our rabbis say, that the world, everything that exists, creation in itself, okay, God can do anything. So we don't make a really huge celebration about the creation of the world, but the real celebration is the creation of Adam, because all of creation is for him. So so it's like you make a celebration of the wedding hall and everything, the flowers and everything, but at the end, like the real celebration is when the couple comes under the chuppah. That's all the hall and everything that is there is for them. So we are we people are celebrating the creation of the world. There's different ways to do it, but I think it's just an appreciation of life. The days that leads to Rosh Hashanah, from today until then, is, I think, every day we should appreciate. Today was beautiful after the storm in New York, especially, the celebration of the sun and the light. And there was darkness before, so we really experienced darkness and light today. And every day, trying to appreciate whatever each day had to give. We're getting ready, it's like the week before the wedding, like a lot of preparation. And we got married on Rosh Hashanah also. Adam and Eve got married, and God was the Mesader Kiddushin. And we're celebrating on Rosh Hashanah our wedding, at the wedding of Adam and Eve. So it's the anniversary of Adam and Eve, or all men and all women together. And so there's another thing also that we should think about with Rosh Hashanah. And hold on, actually I forgot. I have to do something. I have to give the keys to someone. I completely forgot. 1 second. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Okay, so yes, during this time, it's from Rosh Chodesh Elul till Rosh Hashanah is the 40 days that Moshe Rabbeinu was in Mount Sinai, right? It was actually the third time that he went up. And we know the day of Yom Kippur is the day that he comes back with the second set of the 10 Commandments, which means that it means something really amazing. And we know it takes about 40 days. 40 days, like the reason quarantine is quaranta in French, 40, which means 40. 40 is correspond to Maim, the letter Mem. It has to do with water, which means it has to do with change, has to do with Torah, because Torah helps you change. Torah is compared to water. And it takes 40 days for a fetus to be completely formed. So right now we're trying to recreate ourselves, right? Moshe Rabbeinu was trying to rewrite the 10 Commandments received by God. So in a way, we are in a quarantine time where we are experiencing Corona again, but in our own way. um, and um, we're trying to. Sorry, my wife. I always have to answer my wife, right? Whatever happens, my wife is number one. Sorry. And we are trying to recreate ourselves. It's an opportunity. What did they do? They did the sin of the golden calf. And even though we did one of the worst things, it's like cheating. The Jewish people were cheating on Hashem while under the chuppah, right? With the sin of the golden calf, choosing of the god. And even though it was such a terrible thing, God said, I allow you to start over and to recreate yourself. So whatever we have done wrong during this year, whatever mistake we have made, whatever choice we have made that didn't lead us to be who we wanted to be, here now is the opportunity. God says, hey, you can start over. You can recreate yourself. You can rewrite your destiny. You can rewrite what year is going to come. And so that when you come on Yom Hadin, on the Day of Judgment, you can feel connected to the infinite potential of who you can be. Don't let yourself being stuck with the past, with the old stuff. Yes, we have to take responsibility for the past, what we have done, but you can erase it, you can elevate it, you can fix it, and you can be written. Just like there was the new 10 Commandments written, you can rewrite yourself in the book of life if you had done something that would put you in the book of death, so to speak. So it's exciting, right? Let's remember Rosh Hashanah is a very exciting day. We're not supposed to cry like we saw last time. We're supposed to be happy and joyful and celebrate the coronation of the king, and so that we can all look at ourselves as princes and princesses, right? It's a very beautiful story, and we have to take advantage of that reality. Now, is there anything specific? I mean, this week's parsha, right? Nitzavim has to do a lot with also recreating the covenant, and I mean, adding a covenant, not recreating a covenant, adding to a covenant. And it's interesting, it's the same covenant that happened like at Mount Sinai, because it says all the people that are here today and the people that are not here today, right? That are not with us. So it transcends time, and it's the exact same words that were said at Mount Sinai, where we see the Torah. All the people were there today or not. So this speaks to all the Jews of that unique connection we all have together. And that new covenant, says our rabbis, is the covenant of being responsible for each other. Before we're responsible, for our relationship with God. That's what at Mount Sinai. But here in Nitzavim, and it's always supposed before Rosh Hashanah, it's saying you're standing here as one, just like at Mount Sinai as one. But here it's saying you need each other. You can only do it together. I can only do it with you and you with me. And we have to be able to include everyone, because again, Rosh Hashanah is the festival of humanity. Jews and non-Jews alike should be celebrating Adam and Eve. They should celebrate the fact that every man on this planet and every woman on this planet are my brothers, sisters. We are related, and we have to work as a big family. I love to practice that, and you should try to practice that also. You go in the subway, you go in the street, you go in the store, and you imagine that everyone is your relatives, like you have home, brother, sister, parents, children, and imagine that you will talk to all of them as if it's actually your brother and sister. How would you hold your door for someone in your family? Wouldn't you do smile or be happy to be around them, right? We don't necessarily look at it. We look at others as strangers. No, that person who has a difficult time, that person is in a bad mood, that person who is stressed, that person who is obnoxious, that person who is angry, that person who is also happy sometimes, are all people that I need to learn to relate to, learn to be one with. This is Rosh Hashanah. This is Rosh Hashanah where I go to the Rosh, the beginning, to the root of who we are in essence. In essence, we are all connected. When you come on Rosh Hashanah in front of God, Yom HaDin, and God sees in your heart and your thought that you have included in your feelings, in your emotions, all humanity, that you showed to God that you care about the innocent in Afghanistan, that you care about the people who were flooded, that you care about the people who are having corona in the world, the people with the earthquake, right, who died or now have to rebuild their home. They don't have electricity, water, jobs. We have to feel those are my brothers and sisters. Do I feel for them, right? Because God is parts of God is in each one of them. And if we don't learn to be one with everyone, look at everyone as our family, right? We're not being Adam. We're being Adam split up in pieces, right? Remember the second luchot, right? What happened to the first tablets? They were broken in pieces. The second luchot is putting those pieces together. So we are putting rewriting the second Ten Commandments. It is connected directly to that in rebuilding what is broken. Adam and Eve were shattered by their mistake. Light was broken, Shvirat HaKelim, and it got broken into many pieces, and we have to put all the pieces back together. So Rosh Hashanah is that moment where we become aware of that unified whole and global consciousness, and try to be all conscious of that. So when we pray on Rosh Hashanah, you pray for the world. It's Yom Adin for you, but it's more just for you. It's humanity who is being judged, right? And you're pleading for humanity. You're playing a bit the role of Moshe Rabbeinu. Each one of us is like a Moshe who is in front of God and is trying to repair, put the pieces back together, and start dreaming and telling God, I'm here, I'm coming, I want another year where I'm going to be bringing people together, create more unity. So that's a little bit the approach that we should have this Shabbat. Makes us think of that, and the 6 days of creation, right? The 5 days of creation that we're going through is like getting ready for our new world. We're rebuilding our world that we want for ourselves, right? If you wanted to create your world, a world, what would you want to have in this world? And you come on Rosh Hashanah and say, God, that's the world I want. A world with love, a world with unity, a world where we relate, we help each other, a world where people are smiling to each other and looking like one big family. So this is a little bit the I think the approach to have, and will make us ready to pray and incorporate into our prayer those ideas. Now, any questions on Rosh Hashanah? Do you have any more questions, things that bothers you, or that you're still asking yourself about Rosh Hashanah? So we'll address it here, or we're ready.
Rabbi?
Yes.
I guess one of the ladies in the group, she wanted to know if about the eating part, the different things that we are going to eat.
Ah,
Remember that we discussed it, and
right.
she wants to know if it's only apples and honey.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. No, so there's a series of things, right, that the Torah, our rabbis put up to. So apple and the honey is just one of the many things that one of the many simanim, but there's a whole list of um, fruit and vegetable that we eat at the beginning of the meal, just to awaken our spirit, to awaken our imagination, to awaken, what do we want to dream, what do we want to have for the year, and and the words in Hebrew of those fruits and vegetables reminds us of something similar. So for the carrots, people with carrots, the same word in Hebrew correspond to the word of merits. Um, there's fish, to multiply, or like fish, because fish multiply a lot, and all symbols. And you can take any type of food that you have at your table and try to look at those foods, and be creative, and find something, a blessing to say. So for example, let's take an apple. An apple, just my son actually just showed me, he learned from his Rebbe, when you cut an apple in half, not in the regular way like that, but in the middle, and you look inside, it's actually, there's a hint of God's name. So you have, if you cut the apple in the middle like that, so you have five, actually 10 dots correspond to the Yud, and then you have um, 5 seeds on each side, and you have the how to say, the little thing that
Stem.
the stem, yeah. So Yud is 10, then the 2 5 is the 2 Hey, right? And then you have the stem, which is the Vav, so Yud K Vav K. So when you you eat an apple, you see, wow, Yud K Vav K. So you take the apple and you're saying, just like when I look at the apple, I see God's name in it. May we all merit to see God's name in every part of creation, right? So that's an example of how we, I suppose, we're pushed. Our rabbis push us to look at the world and see its beauty. See, right? Kulam bechachma sita. Everything was made with wisdom by God, designed a specific way. Everything is specifically, um, it's full of wisdom and colors and smells and texture. Learn to appreciate creation for what it really is, and try to find God in it, and how much He loves us by giving us all that. So those are the, so in every Siddur, almost Machzor for Rosh Hashanah, you will find the list of all the things you can use, but you can use whatever you have cooked and use it for that also. And it's important to remember that the meal of Rosh Hashanah is not just a meal. Oh, okay, in Rosh Hashanah we eat a meal. It's happy eating. We're going back to the moment of Adam HaRishon, when he was eating. The scene was eating. So when we eat, we understand from the beginning of the year that eating is an avodah in itself. Eating is a serving God. We don't necessarily think of it like that. But when I eat, I serve God, and when I eat, I am trying to, have it's an intimate moment with God. It's a relationship where we have an opportunity to elevate the world, and it's one of the highest way to elevate the world is through eating, right? The Beis Hamikdash was all about eating the korbanot, right? Every holiday we eat, every Shabbat we eat, it's not that, oh no, because it's the holy day, okay, so we have a meal to feel good. No. The eating in itself is a holy moment. It's one of the most animalistic thing we do, and it's because of that, it's something that can, if we put spirituality in it, meaning, intention, our whole eating becomes very, very holy. So that's that's about all the food preparation and the simanim. Any other questions on Rosh Hashanah? Or we're good? We had already a good enough preparation. I really advise to also take the Siddur, the Machzor for Rosh Hashanah, and before you actually come to Rosh Hashanah, start preparing, reading it, seeing what's there, and trying to understand the meaning of it, the meaning of the different words of the Shmoneh Esrei, because once you're already in Rosh Hashanah, it's hard to think you're praying. But if you prepare from before, we're supposed to prepare before so that we know what to say. You don't come in the court without preparation of what you're going to say. So same thing here. We have to try to do our best to prepare some intentions, and also intentions of the shofar. And another thing, by the way, that is important to do is to make a list of all the people that you want to pray for. You come on Rosh Hashanah and you pray for all the people you care for, people in the world. It's and not just people. We pray for nature, for global warming, for saving the whales, or whatever it is that you feel connected to. It's your world. It's your world. How much do you want to take responsibility for it? If you knew you were right king of the world, because God put the crown on your head, right? God said, this is your world. And in Bereshit, he says, and you're supposed to direct, control the animals and everything. So we are supposed to act like a king, because if you're son of the king, you have to act also like a king. So a king cares about everyone, about that a righteous king at least cares that everybody should be taken care of, and we should do that. So it's a perfect moment for praying for people all over the world.
When is the perfect moment? Like during the day, right?
During
The
Rosh
whole Rosh
Hashanah,
Hashanah. But like, for example, like when you go to services to a synagogue, um, like you're doing other prayers, so you kind of don't have time for your individual prayer. So like it will be like maybe just do it anytime you have
the best
after.
I usually do it during the Shmoneh Esrei, at the end,
After.
just before going back out,
Mhm.
right? So you pray during that time, and like it's included as your prayer for Rosh Hashanah. And but you can take a time during the day where outside of prayer and make your own prayer on the side if you want. Also, it's just during Shmoneh Esrei, it's more like in front of
Yeah,
God,
the
so it's more
moment.
powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes like you don't like, for example, for me, I take longer than other people to pray the Shemona Esrei. So like when I finish, like people is already waiting for me.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
Don't rush. There's no need. You're there with God. It's a mistake sometimes we make we want to be, catch up. You're there with God. There's no nowhere else to go. Enjoy being with God at that moment, and enjoy God's hug. You have to look at Rosh Hashanah a little bit like some put their talit on Yom Kippur for sure, but Rosh Hashanah we usually, not even at night, some people I think to put the talit, but it doesn't matter. The idea is it's a moment of hugging God, a moment of it's my judge, but it's my father also, right? It's my so we take advantage of that I always advise people when they pray Shmoneh Esrei, I tell them, don't go back right away. Okay, you say what you had to say, just cuddle a little bit with God now. Just stay there and say, God, I love being here with you. I love you. I want to, just,
Yeah.
I don't have any requests. I'm not here to ask for forgiveness or anything. I'm just here to be with you. How much more romantic than that it can be? It's God is a great romantic. Remember, God created romance, not man. Man used romance in a good or bad way, but God is the most romantic being in the world. So, and remember, we have to fall in love with God, right? We understand that you're supposed to love God more than your husband, more than your parents, more than your children, and more than life itself. It's you have to be crazy in love. Are you a crazy lover? Are you guys crazy lovers for God? Do you wake up in the middle of the night, God, I love you, just I'm so in love with God, I can't eat. I'm just like, isn't that on Yom Kippur's? Like, I'm full with love. What else can I eat? Like, it's you walk and you do your whole daily things, and the only thing you can think is God, man, I'm crazy in love. What am I gonna do? God, you gotta help me with, like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, that's the real thing. We're supposed to be crazy in love. Unfortunately, we just say, Shema Israel, Hashem, I love you, and then we get busy with life. If you're crazy in love, no matter what happened during the day, I don't care, because me and God, we love each other. Right? That's really that. Everything that happens in the world, the ups and downs, the good and what looks bad, those are details. They're here to help you grow and all that. But at the end, all of it is only for the sake of being in love with God. And we have to try to make it happen in this world while alive. When you die, you go with God. It's awesome. It's a full reunification, but try to do it in this world. God is saying, I want you to be in love with me while alive, while you have a body alive, not when you're dead. When you're dead, it's easy. You have just your soul. But when you're alive, it's much harder, because you have all those things. We're distracted. You get the American dream. There's a big mall in New York called the American Dream Mall, right? It's actually made by Jews. It's like, yeah, be careful, because even if it looks all kosher, it's just a sample of God's true of the real dream of being with God.
Make sure it's organic.
Yes, exactly. Make sure it's organic. Organic love. All right. So should we go to our next part about the continued Jewish misconception, or you have more questions about Rosh Hashanah? No? Okay, so we're all in love. Okay, so we can go to the next part. Okay, so I'm gonna stop that recording part. So the first part.